Hello everybody, hope you're doing good, hope you're doing well, and I think this video might make you feel even more well as we discuss which binationals, which dual nation players could be playing for Algeria very soon. Now before we say anything, the Algerian FA president Walid Saadi has come out and said he offered Uncle Vladimir Petkovic, the manager, 3 binational players that the FAF had managed to switch, and he turned down the opportunity to call on them. So they're expected to join when the new season starts in September. Now we don't know what those reasons are. We know already he wanted to leave out Mahrez. He didn't take Shaibi. So clearly he's very specific with who he wants to call up at this moment in time. And there's some very important fixtures. But it doesn't stop them coming in September. So speculation over the past couple of days has started as to which of these players are. And we've got a little bit more information now about this, particularly with the French Olympic squad picked by Thierry Henry. Now this isn't just any old Olympic squad. This is France hosting the Olympics, playing the Olympic Games at home, and they've got the likes of Lacazette, Mateta, Zaire Emery, Bradley Barcola. The big names, big names playing for the French. So clearly Henry would have wanted the best squad possible, and for players not to be in this, it's got to be a big chunk of the reason is they don't want to play for France going forward. And even if they are in this list, it doesn't mean they can switch one day. How many times? I mean, even Ammi, Ait-Nouri, these sorts of guys. I remember watching Yassin Brahimi and Fagouli and Fawzi Ghulam. All played for French youth and switched in the end. So this is by no means the end of the world. But it's an indicator. It's a big indicator. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to laugh at Yassin Adli, you little prick. This guy wanted to go to the Euros, you joker, bruv. Adli was holding out for the Euros. This guy picked baguettes over Hobbs, right? He can't even get any Olympic squad. Like, Adli, mate, Zaire Emery is like half your age, and he's got in not one, but 2 squads this summer. They'd rather have Zaire Emery twice than you, mate. Adli, you've had a stinker. That's shocking from you. This was always going to backfire, and if Milan release you, mate, it's not going to look great. I can see a little Adli apology coming to Algeria one day, but I don't want to waste too much time talking about this mug. He made his decision to play for France because he played 90 minutes for AC Milan. He can't even get in this. So that's the first interesting point. The big one, and I think you've seen a few media outlets been sniffing over this one for a while, is Rayan Cherki. Now, we know when the player tends to leave Lyon, they can breathe and have more breathing space. And we've seen Aouar and Gouiri come through Lyon, but only play for Algeria once they've left Lyon. And I think Rayan Cherki, not too much game time this season, could be on his way out. And I'd like to see that. And he's a really talented young player, still a very young player, a player that Algeria really needs for the future. And I think we're going to get him. I think Rayan Cherki, to not be in here, he used to be one of the first names on the team sheet, a bit like Gouiri, for the French youth sides. Now, to not have Cherki here, and respectfully, some of the other names here are not as good as Cherki. I think it's a sign that Rayan Cherki will be playing for the Algerian national team, hopefully, inshallah, in September. If not, listen, it's going to happen a matter of when, not if. So I'm fairly confident Cherki's on the way off the back of this. So this is really good news, and it's basically the next 5 to 10 years of seeing him playing in a national team shirt. So it's really fantastic. And you do wonder, the coach got offered Cherki but didn't want to throw him in yet. And you've seen the video of Cherki saying that he wanted to play for Algeria, inshallah, one day when he was asked. So that's really positive. But I know, you look at the current squad even, there's not really an out-and-out right winger apart from Haj Moussa. And Michael Olise, with his pace, trickery, dribbling, fantastic individual ability, taking players on 1v1 would be crucial. Now, I told you guys for a while, they keep asking me, Olise is not going to the Euros, but he will play Olympics. And you can see here, he will play the Olympics. And remember, it is in France. So, he's also very close with Yassin Adli. We see that story before of Yassin Adli posting with the national team saying, look, we're waiting for you, Michael Olise. So, the fact that he's even playing for France, I mean, his mother is French-Algerian, right? He's born here, he's born in England, in the UK, and he's not playing for England. How many times have we seen players born in the UK, they're not originally from the UK, but they play for England? Olise hasn't done that. He doesn't want to play for the country he was born in, so he respects where his parents are from. So you've got the French Algerian mother and the Nigerian father. Now, respectfully, as good as he is, Nigeria looking pretty good in those areas like Lookman, Osimhen, loads of players. He's gone for his mother's side. Now, his mother is French Algerian, essentially an Algerian woman born in France, and he's picked for that. So it's difficult to see him play for Algeria when he's in this. I suspect he'll have an unbelievable tournament, and he will want assurances that he'll be playing for France because it's a competitive area. And I'd say he's better than Barcola. I mean, Barcola's in the Olympic squad and the Euro squad. I think he's better than him. And I think France might change their champ and put Zidane after that. So I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to be very tough to get Olise. And once he goes to Manchester United, good luck. Because when you're at Man United, you get called up regardless, really. That's a tough one. And then in the middle, I think Akliouche, the guy at Monaco, who can also play for Uruguay, I think, he's an interesting one. He's in this squad, but I think he'll end up playing for Algeria. I don't think France will have Akliouche in their plans. I think he'll be far easier to obtain than Michael Olise. And again, I think this is a when, not if. So I can see, I'd say Cherki 95%. I would say Akliouche is probably about 50. I'd say Adli is still about 20, considering he's not even in that. And I reckon Olise is about 10 in terms of percentage. So that's where I stand on binationals. And then you've got other players like Rafik Gitain, who switched, didn't even play a game. You've got Bellumi to come in one day, hopefully. You've got Mitchell Weiser, whose days are numbered, the German Algerian. You look at the right-back area with Van den Kerkhoff now in Ligue 2 with Metz, and you think, Weiser, at least there's competition to Youssef Artal. Surely got to be an option there one day. He's openly come out and said he wants to play for Algeria. So we always take an interesting look at the French youth squad. You know, we've seen, like I said, we've seen many of the current national team come through the French youth setup. Always interesting to see Thierry Henry not taking Rayan Cherki to this tournament, I think, is the biggest clue we've had so far. So Cherki one day, inshallah. Let me know if you're excited about his arrival one day. Of course, won't be involved in the games against Guinea and Uganda. I'll see you next time.